I'm quite energized, actually.
Quite
I'm not tired.
energized.
You saw that.
I did.
You get energy from people.
Is this where you stop for the night?
Yeah, this is my election office and I have a room on top. So.
And you have a room on top. How many hours on the road?
It depends on the day, but mostly on the road.
On the
Today,
road.
because we had the public meeting in Krishnanagar,
Right.
for which the education minister had come. This evening I was in Krishnanagar. Otherwise, normally in the evenings as well, I'm in the rural areas. I only have one municipality and 82 panchayats, which means I spend almost all my time out of Krishnanagar.
Unlike with what we've seen you over the years, it's been a low-profile election. We've seen you in your constituency. We've seen you campaign doggedly, keep your head down. Is there a reason for it?
No, I always campaign like this. In
This is the way.
2016, when I became MLA, I walked to 250 booths myself on foot.
Right.
And in 2019, when I won, I went to every single panchayat the same way. And this time as well. So I believe in campaigning. You have to be able to reach as many people as possible, and you have to do it yourself as a candidate. So I don't rely on, the only people who've come here to do meetings was Mamta Di and Abhishek. Today you had the education minister because I wanted him for the town because, that was it. And otherwise, I always do it myself. So it's not that it's a particularly low campaign. I actually had a bigger turnout than Amit Shah's rally.
No, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about your turnout. I'm talking about... you usually have been very vocal. No,
I am very vocal, but I'm campaigning. So
you're just in the heat of it.
I'm going door to door. It's just a question
Nothing
of time.
to do with what's going on in Delhi.
I don't even know when I'm here. How can I know what's coming? I'm spending 14 hours going to 82 villages. It's a campaign is a very different thing. If you're doing a campaign, and we in Bengal, we do our campaigns very differently. We go literally, everyone has to reach maximum people. So when you do that, then that's all you're doing. So that's all I've been doing. And also it's been a very long campaign this time
You're right.
Last time was I think 45 days. This time it's been almost a 60-70 day campaign.
No, the question that I ask you is, has Mahua Moitra changed? Is she a little subdued because you've had a lot come your way?
I've dealt with it. What do you mean? You'll know once I get back with a 1 lakh margin and throw it in the BJP's face. You'll know whether I'm subdued or not.
So is that why this election is that much more important to win?
Every election is important. It's important to them. It's important to them because they've made a cause célèbre out of me, and they've really got their strategy wrong because they obviously got some feedback from the ground wrong because the last time the person who was against me, Kalyan, who's now head of the AIF, he's a very nice guy, and he was all over the place. He ran a good campaign. He was everywhere. He was with young people. He was hitting football. He was giving it. It was a good game. You felt that. And this time, what the BJP obviously thought, they'll play the female versus female card. So they chose a lady candidate. They thought they'll play what they called the elitist versus elitist card. That didn't go very well. Then they decided, okay, let's bring the Prime Minister twice. So they brought I think I'm one of the few constituencies where the Honourable Prime Minister is very fond of me, don't get me wrong, has actually come twice. So imagine for them, Prime Minister has come twice. Amit Shah ji has come. I believe Yogi ji is also coming. Every single neta in Bengal of the BJP has come here. And they've had the ED and the CBI as well. And after all of this, I'm still going to win and come back. So it's really, like I said, it's going to be the icing and the cherry on the cake.
I'm going to talk about the Prime Minister and the Amit Shah because he also held a rally yesterday, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, that's correct.
So the question I'd ask you is that why this election is so important, Ms. Moitra, for you to win? And win with the margin with what you're saying?
I will win it anyway. Every election is important. When I won as MLA, I won. When I won in 19, what do you mean, is it important for you to win? Well, I'm an MP. Obviously, you're there to win.
But this one, I'll tell you why. Because, I understand, but...
See, if mine was a marginal seat, where I was worried about winning or something different. Last time I won by 65,000.
But you have a point to prove.
I will better my margin. The point to prove is...
But you do.
I don't have a point to prove. No. I am doing my campaign exactly as I do. The BJP have a point to prove that we can get this lady down. That's why they're coming 5 times. They are fighting... defense. I'm not fighting defense.
I'll give you another because you've given me figures. So the Prime Minister has spoken to just 2 candidates on the phone. One was the Sandeshkhali candidate from the Bharatiya Janata Party and the other one was yours, Amrita Roy.
I think the Prime Minister, unfortunately, is going to get a 0% strike rate because Bashir Haq the candidate is definitely going to lose, and Krishnanagar they're definitely going to lose. So I don't know if he really wants to go down in the history books as having spoken to only 2 candidates. I don't think he's going to be very fond of you, Preeti, for bringing that out after the election, because both these seats they're going to lose very badly.
No, we know which one. We will know what happens when that last vote is counted. The other question I bring up is you had the Home Minister Amit Shah who held a rally, and yesterday he spoke of a couple of things. One of them was, of course, Sandeshkhali.
He didn't speak here.
No,
he didn't speak here. He just did a rally. I saw.
Rally.
He didn't speak.
He spoke to the press. So the
no, he didn't.
You gave a couple of
I think
interviews.
it was somebody else, not here.
Okay.
Not here.
Okay,
he
so the last time he
chariot,
gave...
He got into the chariot and he went down the 2 kilometers with about 500 people in total, and he left. That was it.
The couple of interviews he's given off in the recent past, one has been that you've disgraced Parliament. He said, I'm talking about you. He said a number of things. And the other one was talk of Sandeshkhali, where... You know, and this is what I'm bringing in, because someone who is a woman, someone who's always stood up for rights where women are concerned. There has been, of course, a sting operation, all of that aside, but somewhere down the line, do you think still a fair investigation is warranted?
I think Sandeshkhali, the government, the entire, as the sting operation is shown, I wish that channels such as yours ran Sandeshkhali 24/7 for about 7 days or probably more. And now that the truth is out, nobody seems to be talking about it. The entire thing, as you saw, was set up by the BJP's goons in Bengal. And the women were paid 2,000 rupees to say they had been falsely raped. And they said it happened 6 or 7 months ago, so that there wouldn't be a medical examination. I think the BJP and all its goons and its leaders need to sort of speak out, because every time you pay money to tell a woman they've been falsely raped, you are insulting every woman who has ever been a victim of violence. And also the same thing that you talk about, you're talking about, Preeti, you say you stand up for women. I really wish that you and your channel had stood up and said the same thing when Brijbhushan Sharan Singh continued to be an MP, and now his son, for a party that doesn't believe in nepotism and believes in women's rights, has actually given it to his son. And I don't see a peep out of the channel as well as out of anybody.
That's not true. We've done
you're having a free chat. You give me your side, I'm giving you my
We've
side.
done multiple shows on that, and we've actually, that it's so strange that you say it. We're coming from Kaizarganj where he's fighting, and we've done a show on that as well. So not that. So yes, but a free and fair investigation, Ms. Moitra.
The investigation's going on.
So you support that?
Obviously, what is there not to do? If anybody is going to come, if anyone comes to any police station, anybody anywhere in India goes to a police station and says something has happened, the state does an investigation. In Bengal, women in Bengal and people in Bengal knew that Sandeshkhali, what it actually was, which is why it really hasn't had an effect. Sandeshkhali was an issue for the national media to trump the BJP. It is not something that has ever had any ripples in Bengal, because people in Bengal know that it's the safest place.
Let's move on from that. I'll come to the last couple of questions. Mr. Amit Shah has also made a point repeatedly.
One second. I'm sorry. I've got to read this. Why is the narrative what Mr. Amit Shah said?
I'm going to ask you your narrative as well.
Because, he's in power. True. Right, we are in opposition, so we are supposed to set the narrative to get the government.
No, but you're in power in the state,
right? But this is the state election; it's a parliamentary election.
Fair enough.
So I'm not here to answer everything.
You don't want to answer. You don't want to take those questions.
But I'm just telling you, every question seems to be a narrative set by Modi. So
it's just I'll just tell you why, because it's a political narrative. So if someone says that why vote for someone who's disgraced Parliament, what would you have to say on that?
I think I've made India proud, women proud, my constituency proud, and the opposition proud, which was manifested in the fact that every single leader of the opposition stood with me when I stood on Parliament. I think the BJP has plummeted to the. It's not just democracy and misogyny. They have taken the rule of law, the rule of ethics, and just thrown it out the window.
The word here on ground, where your constituency is there. Is there a fear somewhere, Ms. Moitra, that the left might cut in because on ground and the BJP gets ahead?
It's a democracy. See, it's a democracy in a democracy.
Right.
I would want all democratic forces to be there. It's no fun kicking goals into an empty goalpost. So I welcome whatever competition is there, and as long as it's a free and fair fight, everyone's welcome in the fray. So whoever's there is there. The fight is very clear. It is BJP versus the TMC.
Fair enough.
Right? So in this fight, I know the TMC will win. I know we will win. So I don't want to belittle anyone. It's a democracy. Anyone can fight.
But do you see that's a three-cornered fight somewhere where him pulling in some of your votes?
Really. I mean, The left always have had a vote, and whatever they get, it doesn't matter whose vote it is or what vote it is, I don't know. And the left has a symbol. The left ran a government here for 34 years. They're allowed to have a candidate in the elections.
Right.
And that's okay.
My last two questions, Ms. Moitra. One is when you're looking at a larger scale, because of course you're fighting it tooth and nail in your own constituency. What are you looking at? It was 18 for the BJP the last time, where your state was out of 42. This time around?
You know, I don't like to get into these numbers because it's best to leave it to even I think psychologists get it wrong. So I'm fighting my seat.
Yes.
I know I will win, and I'm very sure in Bengal that the BJP will not better their numbers.
Okay.
In Bengal, they will not better
they will
their
not
numbers.
Better than
they will
them.
not better their numbers. Of that, I'm very, very sure.
From a micro to you see to a macro level, the other charge that comes in is of appeasement, minority appeasement primarily. You on your own seat has a sizable Muslim population.
So would you rather we did majority appeasement and tell everyone, let's kill everybody else, and or the Hindu Rashtra will be there, and we will live in a parliament with bare-bodied seers, we'll tell the Prime Minister, who will then go on to inaugurate the greatest temple of all time. Would you rather? So I don't know what you mean by I think again, I'm not answering charges which are so trumped up that every time you repeat them, it's reinforcing the narrative.
No,
as far as my voters are concerned, I have 16 lakh voters. Polling will happen on 14 lakhs. Every single one of them is an individual human being. And I appeal to all of them. That's all. If they think I'm an MP, I hope to get majority of the votes and win. I don't look at the color of their skin, or remember what Martin Luther said, it is the content of their character, not the color of their skin. And if I may go a little further, I don't want to go into whether they're going to a mosque or they go into a temple. I look into what their needs are and how best I'm fulfilling them as a parliamentarian.
Fair point, Ms. Mahua Moitra. We're going to see you with the same amount of rigor, and I'll use it again, and it could be in a good way. The same amount.
Yes.
You know, I don't understand why you take it negatively.
I take
being
it negatively
as combative and as aggressive in Parliament.
It's not.
It's not a negative word.
No, it is because it's coming from Bengal. It's not a negative thing. I've also always viewed it.
Yes.
But when I went into Parliament and I saw what the BJP's patriarchy has, I've noticed that this is a narrative that they said that they have created and crafted very craftily, where they use certain words for certain people and they don't use it for men. If you're doing it, then you're proud, you're strong. Like Brij Bhushan is a strong leader. He's not a combative,
no, I don't think
aggressive.
So.
No, you may not think so, but that's the narrative. So you'll see me in Parliament, like I said, I've gone through the last 7 months. I've done it all with my head held high. I'm at the end of a campaign. Do you see me any less energized or any less exuberant as before?
Then if you do win, then the Parliament has something coming for it. But,
well, I'm definitely going to win, and the Parliament does have something coming.
गेम रिकॉर्ड कोई तोड़ ही नहीं पाता।
एक बार मैं तोड़ दूंगा।